This is a Brooklyn-bound 2 express train. The next stop is Fulton Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Almost showtime, fellas. Where's our picture? Where's our picture? There it is. How's everyone doing today? What it do with Big Lou? How you doing, sir? Maddie, thank you for listening. Mobland, how you doing, buddy? Hope everyone's well. We're in Jersey. We're in northern Jersey, about to get on the turnpike. I need to get myself over to Brooklyn. So we're going to go through this Staten Island. We're going to take Staten Island Expressway, Verrazzano Bridge, Belt Parkway. Well, depending on how long it takes and how the show is going and, what it looks like, I then have to go from there out to Long Island over to, like, Westbury. So we'll see. Maybe you guys will take the ride with me, too, from Brooklyn to Westbury. But let's start with this first. I wanted to hop back on, let the algorithm know that I'm still active in the YouTube community because I don't want the algorithm to start working against me. So here I am. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. It's a beautiful, hot day here in the New York City metropolitan area. My vehicle says it's 96 degrees. James Jameson, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining. We're on the New Jersey Turnpike. Tommy Stiggs, eat your heart out, Stiggs. I'm in your state. New Jersey Turnpike, heading south. We were just over by the Meadowlands. Gonna head south to Elizabeth. Gonna throw on my sunglasses over here. Pretty bad glare. Verrazzano. We're going to go down the turnpike. We're going to go over the Goethals Bridge from Elizabeth and Jersey over into Staten Island. And then we're going to get on the Staten Island Expressway. Hey, Joe Delamora. How you doing, bud? I'm just letting you know what this journey is going to be like, this first leg. Jersey Turnpike to Goethals Bridge to the Staten Island Expressway, over the Verrazzano Bridge to Brooklyn. Nasty glare. If anyone comes into the chat and I miss you, I am sorry. Obviously, I don't want to keep my eyes peeled to the chat. I like to keep them peeled onto the road. But we'll be getting down into the mix of things pretty soon. So this trip overall to get to where I need to go to first in Brooklyn should take me about 40 minutes. So, and this focus is really tough focus day with this glass, huh? With this glare. I wish you guys would be able to see the skyline. New York City skyline is off to the left of us here. We're in northern Jersey, heading south. We're about to pass by Newark Airport. I'll see. Maybe I'll give it a little swivel over to the right. Maybe it'll kill some of our glare. But you can see that's the city of Newark there, and that flight coming in is going to go into Newark Airport. Yeah, let's keep it here for a minute. Looks like it's better, a little better. City of Newark is to our right, or to our west. The city of New York is to our left, or to our east. That didn't really help the glare out too much, huh? James Jameson, it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. It really, really is. Again, I am a glutton for heat. I love heat. Love the heat. You'll get a lot of people that'll say today is a little too hot for them. Not me. Not me at all. Big Lou, what it do? See, we'll continue on the turnpike. I apologize for this lack of focus and glare on the windshield. We're heading south right now, but then the majority of our trip's going to be heading east. So I don't really want to worry about it too much. You're not missing too much at the moment. We're just on the Jersey Turnpike. That's it. Gonna get down to the Goethals Bridge. We'll come up to part of the turnpike where it splits for cars and trucks only. That's why right here it's a mixture of cars and trucks. But as we get a little further down, you'll see we're going to hit the split before we go to the Goethals Bridge. This is the exit for Route 78. Route 78 would take you, Route 78 and Route 80 basically run parallel from here, through. They don't run parallel the whole way, but they run through Pennsylvania. So like Route 80 is up, further north of us, up by the George Washington Bridge. That's Route 80. That would run straight across Pennsylvania into the Poconos and out. Same thing with Route 78. Route 78 is just a little further south. I believe it runs through southern Pennsylvania, like Harrisburg and those areas. But this would be, quote unquote, the beginning of it. The eastern edge of Route 78. Here's the split for cars and trucks. Trucks got to go off to the right here. We'll stick with the cars on the left. Getting closer to Newark Airport, we have a little bit longer before we can start heading into New York. Just a bit longer. We're going to be passing Newark Airport here on the right. You'll probably see some vehicles, some planes coming in for landings. Beginning of The Sopranos, that whole Newark Airport's off to your right there. You can see the tower. So if you guys ever were looking to fly into New York, obviously you have JFK Airport and LaGuardia Airport, both in Queens. But then this is the other option, Newark International Airport. I believe the symbol is EWR for Newark. Man, we're moving pretty good now. We're not too far from the Elizabeth exit. We've got 4 miles. 4 miles before we start to wind our way into Jersey. So here, Newark Airport on the right. The Port of Newark on the left. Containers and trucks and stuff like that. It's always a lot warmer in Jersey than it is in New York City, because Jersey's more inland, less effect of the ocean. New York City has the ocean effect, which cools it down a bit. And you can see that plane taking off on the right there. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but a plane just took off to the right. It's going to be covering over our screen now. Again, sorry about this glare. It's a tough day. Hopefully, once we start facing a different direction, it'll be better. Speed limit at this portion of the turnpike is still 55 miles per hour, I believe. Once you get a little further south of here, then it'll open up to 65, but this is still at 55. I promise you this glare will get better once we start heading in towards Staten Island. Anyone coming in, hopefully I don't miss you. NG, how you doing? Welcome back, NG. Thanks for joining. I'll try to catch you guys as you come in. 2 miles to our exit. 2 miles to the Elizabeth exit. You see these trucks carrying containers coming out of the port. Port of Newark. The Port of Newark acts fine in terms of delays and all that crap going on with the ports and imports and exports. The Port of Newark's actually been okay. Out west, out in LA, those ports are backed up real bad. The Port of Norfolk is also backed up. But we've been able to get some stuff in through the Port of Newark without much delay. Alrighty, so this is going to be our exit coming up. Exit 13. NG, it's going good, NG. We're going over to Brooklyn. We're going over to Sunset Park. Well, we got to go through Staten Island first. Hopefully we don't hit too much traffic. Don't waste time. I need to go to Sunset Park. Then I need to go over to like Westbury, Long Island. Then I gotta go over to, well, first like Garden City, Long Island, and then Westbury, Long Island. Then I think out by like Seaford. Alrighty. So here's our exit. I don't know what this person's doing, if they're going left or if they just forgot their blinker on. Not really sure. I don't think he really knows. Here's our guy with our Infinity that was racing us. He didn't really get too far. He's still right in front of us. Alright, so this is the exit for the Goethals Bridge. This is what's going to take us over into Staten Island. This is Edison, New Jersey. All the oil refineries. Again, like the beginning of suppose when they're showing all the oil refineries and stuff. That's all here. This merge is always a doozy. We're gonna have to. You're gonna see here now. We're gonna have to get all the way over to the left. So once we get to this point here, I start peeking over into that ramp over there. See where that 18-wheeler is? That truck there. We need to get over there. We got a truck coming. Come on, go Infinity, go Infinity, go Infinity, go Infinity, go 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 go. Alrighty. Yeah, that's what we got to do. That's what we got to do. Those are the moves we have to make. Nothing we can do about it. Toll unpaid. What do you mean toll unpaid? Did you guys just see that? Toll unpaid. The hell type of crap is that? Unbelievable. All right, so this is the Goethals Bridge. This Goethals Bridge is going to take us over into Staten Island. Carlos, how you doing? Mr. Muniz. All right, we got 2/3 in the no-fly zone in here. Not bad. Yeah, NG. What was that all about? Why did that say toll unpaid? Am I gonna get like a ticket in the mail now? I got that Easy Pass right here. That was a little ridiculous. Anyway, here's the Goethals Bridge. We're going over into Staten Island. Yeah, the glare is working out a little better now. That's what I figured. Heading south was the bad glare, but now as we head east, it should be pretty good. I hope you're doing well, Carlos. Carlos, I was on the phone with someone today. I had to call an office today. And the whole time I'm on the phone with this guy, Carlos, he reminded me of you. Like he literally, even just the way he spoke, just the terms he used, it was funny. He works, it was just funny. So if you work in an office where you answer phones, I might have spoken to you this morning. Coach Ray, I got the Easy Pass up. What do you want me to do here? There's no more people at the toll booths. What am I supposed to do? Marano, I mean, come on. All right, we're in Staten Island. Friggin' Coach Train. Yeah. Well, yeah, and so the speed cameras are now 24/7. So all you folks that are in New York City, because see, the thing is, those speed cameras that are everywhere, not everyone knew, but they were only functioning during the day and during the week. But they didn't really make a big deal. They didn't really want everyone to know that. So they were only on Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. But now, starting August 1st, those speed cameras are on 24/7. So check yourself before you wreck yourself. So this is the Staten Island Expressway, Shaolin, the home of BK Shaolin's finest. Shaolin. I've heard it called Shaolin, it's Shaolin, Shaolin. Staten Island, the suburbs of New York City. There's a very, very suburban feel to it. Has a different look from the rest of New York City. There's parts of it where you're in New York City. There's no denying you're in New York City, but it just has a whole different feel. It's an island off, you know, off the coast. It's its own island in itself, really. Um, Most will argue that the true modern day Little Italy is Staten Island. Very, very, very high population of Italians in Staten Island. But that just goes with the change in the demographics of the city, like just how everyone likes to mention how much Gravesend has changed, how much Bensonhurst has changed. Well, where did these folks go? You had generations upon generations upon generations of families that would have children and grandchildren and aunts and uncles and the whole nine yards. Where did they all go then? The ones that did leave, because not everyone left. I am proof of that. Being born and raised in New York City, I can without a doubt tell you that not every single person that was originally a Bensonhurst or Gravesend guy, they didn't all leave. Majority, yes, but where did they go? They came to Staten Island. They went to Long Island. They went to Glen Cove. They went to Franklin Square. They went to Massapequa. Staten Island allowed people to leave Brooklyn, but still be in New York City, not pay unbelievably high property taxes, while still keeping a New York City address. Hence, Staten Island being, the move. Montauk, how you doing? Hope all is well. Oh, Edward Jimenez in here too, also? You're a spiffy dude, Edwin. I'll tell you that much. You're a real spiffy dude. So again, this is Staten Island. Call us. You are right about that. You're right about that. I just think I think there's just a misunderstanding of certain areas and certain neighborhoods of New York City. You can't deny that places have changed. Demographics have changed. The origin of where these people come from when they land in these neighborhoods changes. That the language on the storefront changes. But there's still Bensonhurst is still Bensonhurst. Don't let anyone fool you with that. Gravesend is still Gravesend. Don't let anyone fool you with that. That's my point. Getting close to the Verrazzano now. Verrazzano will take us into Brooklyn. NG, you're right about that. We have a Teresa Murphy sighting in here. I see Big Lou saying hi to Teresa Murphy. Teresa Murphy, hope you well. Again, if anyone comes into the chat and I don't see you, I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep my eyes on the road. But eventually, every once in a while, I glance over to the chat. I see Big Lou saying hello to Teresa Murphy. So unless Big Lou is just making it up, how you doing, Teresa Murphy? Hello. All right, getting close to the bridge here. This guy's deciding if he wants to change lanes. He is going to change lanes. Sorry. You're going to begin to see the bridge up ahead. I'm going to, when it's safe, try to give you a little swivel of my camera because as we go into Brooklyn, you're going to get great views of the New York City skyline off to the left. Yeah, there's Big Lou. Hey, Celtic from Glasgow. Hello from Scotland. How are you, sir? Welcome to Staten Island, the home of Pete Davidson. But we're just passing through. We're heading over to Brooklyn, Sunset Park. I'm just going to adjust this just a tad bit, just in case you guys are able to see, because as we go over the bridge, I'd rather you see off to the left a bit. It's a very nice view, but I don't know if it'll come through. Hey, Carlos, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure for me to share what I am seeing with you folks that are from the city that have left, folks that are from Scotland, folks that are from Long Island. It's my pleasure. Hey, sir, I can't read that all, but as soon as I could stop and I could check out that comment, I would love to check it out. Between the glare and me driving, I think you're giving me a compliment, or you might be telling me that I'm putting you to sleep. It's either one or the other. I'm not sure. I think you're being nice, though. But as soon as I can, I'll check out that comment. But this is the Verrazzano Bridge. New York City skyline's off to your left. You probably won't be able to see much of it. Again, it's something more for the naked eye. Crossing over the New York Harbor, Verrazzano Bridge. From Staten Island into Brooklyn. I want to my right lane because by force of habit, I'm used to always hopping on the Belt Parkway. We're not going to hop on the Belt Parkway yet. I got to make this stop over in Sunset Park. Okay, Carlos. Awesome. Well, welcome. Welcome to you. I believe you were saying that I think you were about to go to sleep and then you saw the show. Welcome. Um, when I do more of street drive, I like to switch it up between street driving and highway driving. When I'm doing the street driving, I can be way more interactive because when I come to a stop sign, I could pull over, I could look at the chat, I could really read it. I could be a little more interactive with you folks when I'm doing street, block to block driving. In this highway type driving, I apologize if I miss you. There's the folks that I know already, like I know certain people in here, so I kind of just know the way you speak. I only have to see a couple of words, and I know what you're saying. Carlos, Big Lou, James Jameson, blah blah. All you folks. But anyone new, sorry if I can't give it a full attention. But I like the interactiveness of this. I think it's awesome. So we're in Brooklyn, Fort Hamilton, Bay Ridge, Dyker Heights. We're going to be going over to Sunset Park, right underneath the Gowanus, underneath the highway we're going to be on. Not too far from like 39th Street over there, 3rd Avenue. That's going to be a quick stop. So I'll gauge the room because right now we got a nice amount of people in here. Bay Ridge, you're right, NG, Bay Ridge. I'll gauge the room because that's going to be a quick stop. So if you want to hold on while I make that quick stop, then you guys could come with me out to Long Island too if you want. Because I got to go out to Long Island after this. So if you guys want to come. All right, guy. Let me show you what this guy's doing. How he's just in 2 lanes and he doesn't really know what he wants to do here. And he's an Uber driver. Unbelievable. Talking on the phone, checking his text messages, checking his Ubers. Unfriggin' believable. All right, NG, we're going over 3rd Avenue. So this is the BQE, the Gowanus BQE. Just had a huge bug fly into the windshield. Yeah, we got a lot. We got about. Hey, Claudio Perry. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, Mr. Perry. Good people. Let me tell you something. Good people right there. How you doing? How are you doing? Alrighty, so our exit's coming up here. We're gonna get off 3rd Avenue, and we'll take 3rd Avenue up a little bit. Or do we go stay on and get off at 39th Street? What do we want to do? What do we want to do? No, let's get off at 3rd Avenue so we can do a little more street driving. I could stay one more exit on here, but it's at 39th Street. But let's just get off at 3rd. Sunset Park. Oh, what's real is not going to like this. What's real doesn't like being under overpasses. But I'm sorry, what's real. I am sorry. Man, what is? All right, so now we're under the Gowanus at like 60th Street. Let me fix my swivel here. Straighten you guys out a little bit. Okay. Hopefully I didn't miss anyone else. Hopefully I didn't miss anyone else coming in. I don't think so. Joe Delamora, I'm pretty sure I said hello to you. Alrighty. So we got about a mile or so under this Gowanus. Hopefully there's a nice parking spot for us out front. I could run in, run out, and be on our way. Dang. A lot of bad potholes over here. '54th Street, Sunset Park. Let's make sure I didn't get. I want to see if I can get back to that comment. Um, what's all the hubbub? What's all that all about? Hey man, I was going to just throw what people must be doing right now. Oh, cool! Hey, welcome, buddies. Sedant, Sedant, welcome, and thank you, Carlos. That's why you're King Wrench, #1 wrench in the game. As we all know, I was labeled the worst wrench in the history of YouTube. So I have the utmost respect to you, Carlos, being that I was, dubbed the worst ever. Yeah. Yeah. 48th Street. A couple more blocks. I'm gonna get under here, get under the shade for you guys, give you guys a little better visual. I think it works a little better when we get some shade. Hey, is it Emile? Thank you. We're in Brooklyn. Oh, Teresa Murphy, you don't remember that? You don't remember me being all out just labeled as being the absolute worst wrench in the history of all of YouTube? Cotrain knows it, see? Cotrain was right there with me. I think you're right, Carlos. See? That's why you're the best, Carlos. It takes a lot to be arranged. It takes a lot. There's a lot that goes on with who to block, who to let through. There's a lot of politics that goes along with it. So just because you're not blocking people doesn't mean you're bad at what you do. Claudio Perry, just saying. Just saying. Alrighty. Let's see how many blocks we got to go. I don't even know what lane I want to be in. I want to be in this lane because that lane looks jacked up over there. But we only got a couple of blocks. All right. I'm just hoping we can find a parking spot once we get up there. Just chilling. Sunset Park, Brooklyn, my man. 3rd Avenue and 40th. How you doing? How's it hanging out on the West Coast? Best Teresa. So, in my opinion, someone being from the southern part of Brooklyn, the part that's on closest to like Coney Island down there, to me, the best. See, my favorite neighborhood in Brooklyn is Dyke Heights. That's my favorite neighborhood in Brooklyn. Dyke Heights, Brooklyn. My favorite. Gravesend comes in a close second. Dyke Heights. In terms of best, like, most expensive, most high end, to me, it's either Mill Basin or Bergen Beach, Brooklyn. People from northern Brooklyn up here would probably say like Carroll Gardens or a place like that. And it's so hard to say, Teresa. Like do you would you consider or have homes with driveways and stuff like that? Like what do you what is it that you're considering the best? Well, if this lady's leaving and I can grab her spot right on the corner, that would be money in the bank if she's leaving. Let's see if she's leaving. She just got in her car. Let's see. To me, I love Dyke Heights. Bergen Beach, Mill Basin are extremely, extremely, extremely nice neighborhoods down in southern Brooklyn that I think are, people might say that, Carroll Gardens or Park Slope is the best neighborhood in Brooklyn just because it's close to Manhattan. It has a very strong cosmopolitan feel, and it's filled with brownstones and stuff like that. So if that's your look, if you want a very city look, brownstones and tight, tight. Hard to say, Teresa. I hope that answers your question. I might have missed some more here. ING, Claudio Perry. Oh, Claudio Perry. It's I did. It's all good though. It's all good. All right. I guess this lady is not going to be leaving. I guess she's just hanging out in her vehicle, huh? It'd be great if she just pulled out for a second. It would be great. It would be great. Otherwise, I really don't want to stay double parked here, even though I can. Maybe I'll go up a block or two. Hey, how are you, sir? Or ma'am? How are you? Thanks for joining. Always, 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 always appreciated. Crapola. Oh, I think this guy is leaving here in this truck. Is this guy leaving in this truck? Oh, yeah, he's leaving in this truck. Oh, this would be wonderful if this gentleman leaves. No, NG. Not beefing with this guy. Oh, is he not going to leave? He put something in his car. Is he going to come around and get in? Yeah, you're going to come around and get in, aren't you? Yeah, you are. Oh, yeah, you are. You're going to come in and yeah. Oh, baby. You need to play the lotto right now. Look at this. This guy's backing out. All right, guy. The coast is clear for you. Let me in there. Yeah, please, Carlos, do your thing. Whatever you got to do in there. Your discretion. But definitely. Oh, sorry. Go. Just go, lady. Go. Tapping on my car. Out of here. Okay. Alrighty. Guys, if you give me just a couple of minutes. Assassinino, how you doing, buddy? Nice to see you, Assassinino. Okay. All right, fellas. I am going to be right back. Okay, I'm going to leave my speaker here, and I'll be right back, guys. Gotta put a mask on, of course. Friggin' New York. All right. I'm back. Okay. I'm back. No need to fear. Skip is here. Okay. So now, let me see if I can gather myself here, figure out my next plan of attack. We're in Sunset Park, Brooklyn. Sorry, I left those blinkers on. That was probably annoying. Hey, Tiendo! Tiendo, how are you, my friend? Nice to see you, Tiendo. Hey, Tiendo, if you're looking, a lot of construction going on over here, too. They're doing a lot of highway work on this elevated road. Okay, so next stop. Yeah, NG. Hey, Roma. Roma food, how you doing? NG, that was quick. An Assassinino, yeah. Better watch out. Okay, so let me pop this into my GPS just to see what the traffic looks like in my different routes. Oy, hey. Oh, God. See, that's why I want to get on the road. Like, before I go live, I'm usually driving around like a maniac trying to get stuff done because just as the day goes on, the traffic just gets worse and worse and worse, and it just becomes debilitating. Um, so let's see here. What route do I want to take? Because I have to go here first, but then I have to go there. Right. Let's Garden City, and then Westbury. Garden City, and then Westbury. All right. So let's do the Garden City first. Man, there's just a lot of traffic, Mo. I think our best bet is to go this way through the streets. I don't want to take you back on the highway, right? I doubt you guys want to go back on the highway. So let's what we're going to do is we're going to go continue up north Brooklyn, and then we're going to try to get over to like Eastern Parkway, try to go through Jackie Robinson Parkway. I think that's what we're going to do. All right. Let's go. Let's quit wasting time and let's get the show on the road. You people stay there. We're going over here. Alrighty then. Okay. This is going to be a long trip. It's crazy. I can get from Jersey into Brooklyn so much quicker than I can get just from Brooklyn to the other side of Brooklyn. It's unbelievable. Do we have Steve in here? Steve, you cracking brews? I'm assuming you're cracking a brew for the ride. NG food. I always forget about food. I never get food. It's so crazy. Once I start moving, I don't want to like stop. As you can see, my stops are quick, and I just want to get going. And I never just stop to relax and get myself some food. Tony the Night Owl, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Tony the Night Owl. You showing signs of rabies, Tony? Midday. I've never been to Europe, Roma food. I've never been outside the United States. Only once my honeymoon went to an island, but that's it. I've never been to Europe. Wouldn't mind seeing it, though, that's for sure. That's truly the motherland. The motherland to all of us. But right now we're in Brooklyn. Yes, blessings to Tony, of course. Sunset Park, Brooklyn. Like rattle our way through the belly of the beast. Get up over to the Jackie Robinson. Let's see, Yankees for life. What's up, Yankees for life? We finally got rid of Joey Gallo. We should have sent him up to Co-Train in Boston. But the Dodgers will take him. The Dodgers will take anyone. They'll throw a few shekels at anyone. They don't care. Yeah, I would probably like London, Joe Delamore, I'm assuming, right? I'm assuming I'd like it. I've never, like I said, in that. So funny story is that that honeymoon that I had won. Sorry, the honeymoon that I took out of the country, it was actually a winning prize. So you guys don't realize you're actually speaking to a. Well, look at that little slammed Honda on the right there. You see that thing? Cambered out like crazy. Wow. There's someone in there. I've never seen wheels so cambered so hard. It was almost like they were riding on the inside rims. Yeah, that trip, I won. Well, me and my ex-wife won that trip. So you don't realize you're speaking to a reality TV star, you know? That's a story for another day. That was a trip to Turks and Caicos, a week at the Gansevoort, the King Suite of the Gansevoort. I think the retail value of the trip was 35 grand. You know, and we're talking, a few years ago. I'll probably never. Yes, I won a trip. Hey, Carlos, thank you, and I appreciate it, man. Thank you for stopping in. But yes, actually won through competition a trip to Turks and Caicos, and I'll be honest with you, it's more. It wasn't really me. I didn't win it. It was the event, the party, the venue, the food, that stuff. The dress, the food, the clothing, all that stuff for the actual wedding, that won the prize. We got to get all the way over here. And it was a free trip to Turks and Caicos. And again, I'll probably never. I mean, I could literally couldn't take that same trip right now if I wanted to. It was unbelievable, NG. It was unbelievable. The marriage, not so much, but it was an unbelievable trip. They had. Let me wait until I get on past here. But they had wild horses out on the beach. It was very cool. I mean, the Gansevoort is one of the top hotels in the world. So you're in one of the best hotels in the world in their best room, in their king, corner or suite, whatever the hell. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Let's see. Oh yeah, and R.I.P. to Vin Scully. That's right. He had passed also. A lot of people joining my grandmother up there. She started a parade up. Speaking of her, we're about to pass by where she's buried right here again. I always keep ending up right here again. There's the city bikes. You could rent these bicycles here. It's called the City Bike Program, named after the bank. But you can come up, use your phone, pay with a credit card or an app or whatever, and just rent these bicycles. And there's stations all over the. Yeah, let's beep. That'll help. There's stations all over the city that you can. You don't have to bring it back to that spot. You can find another spot to bring it to. It's a cool concept. We'll stop at this light. We'll let those folks go through it. 3rd Avenue, 12th Street. I guess this is, I don't know, what neighborhood is this? Is this still Sunset Park? Is this like borderline Red Hook? I don't know what you'd call this. I would think of it as Red Hook still, 3rd and 12th. Yeah, the story of my life is pretty interesting. There's a lot of before even YouTube. My big plan that I really wanted, and I've been told by many people that if I just simply I could write a book based on my life story. It's that wild. The ups, the downs, the good, the bad, the baseball, the ex-wife, the daughter, the travels, the different types of employment, health situations in my family and with my father and with me. I told someone I've been working with someone for now, I think 3 years now. And just this morning, I told her something about me. She had no clue. I needed to go get blood work this morning. And I guess I forgot I still have this stupid, the Band-Aid thing on my arm. And she's like, oh, you know what? I'm like, oh, yeah, I got to go every 6 months, this, and that. She's like, why? I'm like, why? What do you mean, why? But, yeah, I definitely, yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot to my there's a lot. There's so much. Growing up, I had a very interesting life growing up. My dad is not from this country. He's an immigrant. Grew up in Brooklyn in Gravesend, late 80s, early 90s in Gravesend and Bensonhurst and Marine Park. I could tell you that when it comes to this genre that we all know here, right? I'm not gonna, I can't get up here and say, oh yeah, how do I word this? My father is Cuban. My mother's the Italian one. There's more interesting things and events and stories, and there's a more interesting dynamic to the Cuban side of my family than there is the Italian side of my family. I'll tell you that much. You talk about like the mafia or just any sort of quote unquote secret society, talk to Cubans. Talk to Cubans. I grew up in Brooklyn and and spent a lot of time in Gravesend and in Bensonhurst. And if I tell you that my father was probably consistently the darkest man in that neighborhood whenever he was there. He is a dark Cuban. Dark Cuban. Joe Delamore, I wish it's so bad. The nurses can just tell, like, I don't like needles. I can't. You know what it is? I can stand. I don't mind blood. I don't mind pain. I can handle blood. I can handle pain. But there is just something about the thought of you taking a rubber band, wrapping it around my arm, and tapping my veins, finding a vein, and then puncturing that vein, like, and then sucking the blood out of my vein. That whole concept, that whole idea, that whole thought process is what gets me going. That's what really gets me going. Not the pain, not the blood. I could see blood. Who cares about blood? This is great. This is just wonderful. This is a great block to take. This is just cluster. I got a hotel here. Why in God's name would you stay in this hotel? I don't know. Jeez. Yeah, I do not like blood tests. I cannot stand like the needle, like the whole thought process of that needle, and then she's wiping it down, and she's touching my vein, and she's tapping it. Oh God, just disgusting. The thought, like, it's like sticking a hose in a pool, right? The water just gets sucked out of the hose. It's friggin' disgusting. God, it gets me lightheaded. I just the thought of a needle puncturing your vein and God, I gotta get off it. But anyway, every 6 months I gotta do it, and I hate it, and it gets me all anxious. And funny story. So so part of the test, right? I have to get urine work too. So you gotta go. You go piss in the cup. So this morning on the way there, I'm pounding water because a lot of the times, I just wake up in the morning, I have a glass of coffee, and then I don't really have to. I don't feel like I have to go to the bathroom. So this morning, I'm pounding water on the way there. I'm pounding water on the way there. Finally, I'm sitting in the doctor's office. Now I gotta go. I gotta go to the bathroom. So the urine's the very end. So he does whatever. He checks me in, but the nurse comes in. She takes the blood, and then she gives me the cup. She goes, okay, go to the bathroom, and when you're done, leave the cup over here. Okay. So now I'm like, oh great, I gotta go so bad. So now I grab the cup. I go. I get into the bathroom, and I just start going to the bathroom. I completely forgot to piss in the cup. I had to go so bad. I had to go so bad because I pounded the water, and plus, I hate when like you go and it's like yellow still, so I like it to be clear. It's like embarrassing. I don't know why. It's like I feel like embarrassed if I hand in the cup and it's like, yeah, I don't know, even though whatever. I got in there. I was like, oh man, all right, finally. And I just go, and I'm done, and I'm standing there. I'm like, I forgot to pee in the cup. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So my doctor had to order one from friggin' Quest Diagnostics, so I gotta go like one day and go friggin' pee in a cup over there. Oh my God. I thought I was over with it. but I guess not. Cousin Paulie, how are you, cuz? I hope you're well, cuz. And Carol Mahal, I saw you also came in here. Steve, cracking your brews. Yeah, we're in Park Slope. I think I just saw someone saying we're in their old neighborhood, too. Park Slope, we are in, yeah, the Norma. On, what am I on? Union Street. Union Street coming up to 7th Avenue. Park Slope. Try to get ourselves over to the Jackie Robinson Parkway. Word, Tony the Night Owl. Did they? Do they? Do they? Do they really? Oh, but because NG, why? Because then they feel like it's too like diluted. Is that why? Because I know that's the case. Like if you're doing like a drug test, like this isn't it's not a drug test. It's more to just test the function of my kidneys. But I remember people saying that they had their drug tests turned back because it was too diluted. Yeah, I know, coaching. No, 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 no. I went in the toilet. I went like as if I just was in the doctor's office and just had to go to the bathroom. I went, I flushed, and I'm like, oh, wait a second, I was supposed to, I would have filled up the cup and more. I really had to go. I wasn't even thinking. How you doing? Yeah, NG, right, right, right. No, you're right about that. So I guess the more yellow it is, the more true of a sample. I can understand what you're saying there. Hey, Sons of Italy, how you doing? Yeah, Edwin, we are in the land of brownstones now. That's for sure. Let me see if I can give you a bit of a swivel, if it'll help you out. Some brownstones there. Some more brownstones there. But yeah, Park Slope, definitely the land of the brownstone. As you can see, I figured this glare would ease up a bit. Yeah, I'm supposed to drink a lot. I feel like I don't drink as much as I should. For my kidneys, I'm supposed to drink a lot of liquids. They say for what I have, it doesn't really matter. Well, at least what they say, it doesn't matter as much what I drink. It's just a matter of having liquids passing through them a lot. I think obviously anyone would think that water would probably be the best bet, but I can understand that flushing out, them getting in it, being pure white and being like, "What is this? This is just water." Here's a good view here now of this corner. So in the corner of Eighth and Union. I know Tony the Night Owl. You love this architecture here. I know that. Yeah, every 6 months. So my next appointment's in January. It's funny because it just the routine I'm on. It's like my last appointment was in January. So when I booked the appointment, I booked it for now, thinking like, oh man, I cannot wait for that time of the year. I can't wait for it to be freaking what, August 2nd, August 3rd, whatever. I can't wait. And when I booked this one this morning, I booked it for I think the beginning of February. So I'm like, ugh, like not looking forward to that. Not looking forward to coming back in February at all. At all. It's like yikes. You don't realize how fast those 6 months come along. They come so fast. It's unbelievable. It helps too not having to go to like Quest Diagnostics to get the blood work though. It really does when you're able to just get it done in the doctor's office. I think that changed a few years ago when they wanted to keep people in the same like area and not have them go in so many different spots. They used to make me go outsource to get the blood work, but now we can kind of get it done right in the doctor's office, which is nice. Oh, every 3 months, Carol Mahal. Mean. That's a lot. Yeah, the 6 months, it's crazy how often it comes up. Well, even the guy I was joking around saying that yeah, Teresa Murphy. I know. There's a lot of history there, family history, genetics, hereditary stuff that there's just nothing I can do about it. Yeah, it does when you have to. It's so much easier when once I'm sitting in the office to just have them do it, you know? All right, so we're going to try to get across Grand Army Plaza. If you folks were with me last live, I think we were also here by excuse me, ooh, by Grand Army Plaza. So let's see. This block is always a disaster. Never fails. Alrighty. Nah, we're not going to get through this light. But at least you'll get a view. You know what? This is good because I can give you a whole view of Grand Army Plaza. So let me swivel around. Grand Army Plaza. So let me get out my handy dandy pen here. That right there, that's the Brooklyn Public Library. Right there. This here, this is the main statue of Grand Army Plaza. I don't know if I forget what exactly that's depicting, but this whole big traffic circle is known as Grand Army Plaza. And again, that there is the Brooklyn Public Library. Right there. Oh, sorry, lady. Don't want to hit you in the head with a pen. Swivel you guys out straight before we start moving again. Okay. We are working our way to Garden City, Long Island, Teresa Murphy. Garden City, Nassau County, Long Island. We are about to get on Eastern Parkway here and maneuver our way over to the Jackie Robinson Parkway, formerly known as the Interborough, and then into Nassau County. But this should be a fun little ride through Eastern Parkway here. We did this not too long ago, coming the opposite direction. This is going to be going towards Queens and Garden City. Go ahead, guy. Well, you should have went. You missed your opportunity, man. You missed your opportunity. You should have went. So this is Eastern Parkway. This is going to take us through Crown Heights and then up into Bushwick, and we'll head into the onto the Jackie Robinson. So this is the side of the museum. Let me get you guys a view of this real quick while I can. That's the Brooklyn Museum. Give you guys that side view. Swivel back around here. Okay. Make sure I didn't miss anyone coming in. Yeah, Teresa, we're going over to Garden City. Okay, let's continue on. Brooklyn Botanical Gardens is over here too. This is a pretty big tourist spot. How long are we on here? An hour and 11 minutes. Okay. So I've been on for an hour and 11 minutes, and my GPS is telling me I have an hour and 11 minutes to reach my destination. I don't think I'm going to keep you guys on for another hour and 11 minutes, just because I think a lot of that's going to be sitting in some highway traffic. So I'm going to take you basically, I think I'm going to take you for another, I don't know, about 40 minutes or so, let's just say. I'll take you pretty much to the edge of, the traffic. And again, when I do this, to me, you guys are just hanging out in the call with me. Like I really feel like you guys are sitting in the call with me. So I try not to bring you into unnecessary, boring traffic, let's just say. But we had some highway, we started off on the Jersey Turnpike. We had some highway driving. But we'll have some street driving, and we'll get on the Jackie Robinson. Maybe I'll end it, as we're getting onto the Grand Central over there. Maybe leave it for like 40 minutes, try to cap it off at right around 2 hours. Again, I like to make it appealing for any people that it gets pushed out to afterwards. I feel like if you're going to watch a replay, you're going to want to watch a replay of something that's 2 hours or less, as opposed to something that's more than that. But anyway, Eastern Parkway. Brooklyn, New York. Heading up into Crown Heights. Utica Avenue. Oh, look at this guy. Ready for this one? Oh, whoa, idiot! What the fuck is wrong with you? Fucking. Oh my god. Ridiculous. Unbelievable. Co-Train, you bossing around Tony the Night Owl over there? Tony the Night Owl, I'll bump Co-Train out of here. He wants to talk about me being a bad wrench? I'll show him. Brooklyn Avenue. Brooklyn and Eastern Parkway. Edwin Jimenez. No, I don't know if I could pull that off yet. Like the whole go to an actual destination, and I don't know. I'm sure I could do it, but I mean, really, is he serious? Carlos, you're right, and you haven't like really seen it yet because I don't know if you heard it. I explained it on a different broadcast where like being live with you guys keeps me calm. It keeps me from engaging in road rage a lot of times because like if you have people sitting next to you, if you're alone, you're never gonna see that person again. Whatever, even if you get out, shoot the fan, you never, whatever, you're never gonna see him again. So you act like a fool and have a nice day. But when you have people like with you or around you or listening to you, I don't want to just thought you're a little more self-conscious of your anger, let's just say. So definitely, there's definitely been a bunch of times where I've been live and like stuff's happened, and maybe if I'm alone and just in a bad mood, maybe I engage. But with you folks, usually I remind myself I have a microphone in front of me. I have 20 something folks with me. I would think you're supposed to wear one, co-train. I would think so. I mean, yeah, you do. You definitely do. You definitely do. Right, Tony? I mean, even like this guy with his Pennsylvania plates in front of me. I could have started saying, look at that guy on the sidewalk. What is that person doing? Oh my God. Oh my God. I want to go around the block. Oh my God. That if you see you see how there's parking spots off to the right here? There's a guy from Pennsylvania gonna cut me off again? Oh no, he decided not to this time. He'll get behind me though. He'll get right up there. Yeah, see, I told you, I knew he was gonna get behind me. He didn't want to cut me off twice in a row. I guess he figured, you know. But yeah, there's these parking spots off here to the right, and that guy, I guess he must have not hit the gas and just went right up, and all the way up on it. Oh my God. Coming up to Schenectady Avenue, Schenectady and Eastern Parkway. Yeah, it is. So funny. Just make sure I didn't miss anyone coming in, and I always appreciate you guys. I would stay in one lane and not move for love nor money. Tony, that I now. Let me tell you something. There's many times I'm on these roads so often, so there's many times where like I'm just not in the mood. Right? I'm just not in the mood to battle. I'll just sit in one lane and not give a crap. But there's routes like I know that route that I took today. I made the comment when we were going over the Verrazzano Bridge. I was in that left lane going over the Verrazzano Bridge, and I said, "Oh, muscle memory. I'm usually in this left lane. I got to get over to the right." From Jersey to Howard Beach, you can go and never change lanes. If you're on the turnpike in the right lane and you get off and you get on that, if you get on the Goethals Bridge and then you get onto the Staten Island Expressway and get in that like center lane in the Staten Island Expressway, you can take that all the way and never have to change your lane. You can just chill in that lane and go. But there's plenty of times where I'm just like there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. Like on a road like this to be changing lanes like that. Hopefully this bus gets over. All right. Now that this bus has cleared the way, let us continue on. Eastern Parkway. So neighborhoods are going to change pretty soon. We're now borderline Crown Heights. We're about to head into Bushwick. Basically, at this left-hand turn, ew, speed camera. I think I stopped down on time. Damn, see that? Right going down that hill, I was speeding there. Thank God I stopped. But it's just so easy to be going more than 35 down that hill. I mean, come on. So this corner changes neighborhoods now. Right now, we go into Bushwick now. Still on Eastern Parkway, just a different neighborhood. Again, I'll probably stick with you guys. We'll stick together for another half hour or so. Yeah, how you doing? Watch my speed cameras again here. Yeah, they strategically placed them though. Ugh. Co-train, you're 100% right about that. You know, I see it all the time, man. I see it all the time. A lot of times, just like, dude, If you guys just stayed in your lane, just follow the guy in front of you. Like, just stay. Like, I'll see it. People hop on the Belt Parkway, they get on the highway, and they're right away trying to just swerve, swerve, swerve. It's like, dude, read the traffic in front of you. Just look at what's going on in front of you, man. Like, where are you going? A lot of bikes out today. Rockaway Avenue. Okay, check out the chat. Claudio Perry, you're right about that. That changed, I'd say, about 3, 4 years ago. 2, 3. You know when they became a target, uh, their visible presence disappeared from a lot of these neighborhoods. They used to be very visible in specific neighborhoods, but that changed. That changed drastically. Now you're not gonna see them. They're around. I mean, they got to be around, but you really don't. And I mean, we're going through some neighborhoods right now that I don't know. Like if I'm a tourist or whatever, I'm not from around town, and I don't know. I think I would rather see some sort of police presence. Like you're on your own these days. A lot of these neighborhoods, you're on. It's back to where it was 20, 25 years ago. Like you're on your own. You can call 911 if you want, but a lot of these neighborhoods, that started with Giuliani with the broken windows policy, where he cracked down on everything. But a lot of these neighborhoods, you've always felt like it was just overwhelming presence. And as like for example, as a woman, like someone went to go do something or whatever, she could scream and there's gonna be a cop that's gonna hear her. But like you point out, Claudio Perry, and as you guys can see yourself, you're on your own. And we're in Bushwick right now. That's what's up. But you're right. I feel like out in the suburbs, though, they're almost going a little opposite just to make sure that they're not seen as being in the same light as New York City. Like Nassau County, I know certain areas, they've increased their patrols big time because they don't want people to think that what you can get away with here, you can also get away with there. They want to make that point known. Yeah, Coach Train. I imagine in a lot of different ways that there's many similarities between Boston and New York. There just has to be. I noticed that with Philly and going down there and talking with meeting with Cuz, and there's just in their architecture and the way they were designed. Like as far as I know, uh, both Boston and Philadelphia were major cities prior to New York City being as major as it was, right? I mean, Liberty Bell, Philadelphia, Boston, the Boston Tea Party, um, they were significant cities in American history before New York City was a significant city in American history, as far as I know. Yeah, you got to be crazy to own a bodega in some of these neighborhoods. It'd be absolutely crazy. All right, guys. So we're about 5 minutes from the Jackie Robinson Parkway. It doesn't look like there's that much traffic on the Jackie Robinson. It looks like the traffic starts once we get a little closer to the Grand Central. So I'm going to take you onto this Jackie Robinson. We're going to cross over into Queens. And then once we're approaching like the nasty traffic, which will probably be in about a half hour or so, 20 minutes, I'll end it there. All right? That way the video doesn't go too long, and that way we're not just sitting in some ridiculous traffic together. There's always people selling like food and fruit over here on the right. Always fresh fruit, like the fruit stands, watermelon, cantaloupes, all stuff like that. Bananas I see out there, some mangoes. The boroughs have great like food stands like that. Not only food stands, but vegetable stands. So this is the beginning of the Jackie Robinson, formerly known as the Interborough, because it brings you from Brooklyn into Queens, brings you into like Forest Park, Woodhaven Boulevard. Assassino, make sure you drop your own link also too, buddy. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. And subscribe to our friends. I think Carlos was dropping a bunch of links, and Assassino dropping a bunch of links. I always appreciate you guys' support. It's fun. Ooh, it's fun. Jackie Robinson Parkway. It's tight. It's narrow. It's fun. I used to have to drive it when I used to work for Uber before Uber was Uber. I used to drive a Suburban, and I used to take customers on here all the time in the big Suburban, and a lot of time they were out of towners. They were not from New York, and let me tell you something, they were scared. But again, I've acquired that skill to be able to kind of try to keep people at ease in my vehicle. I think I've become pretty good at it, where I can take someone that's from out of town, might be nervous about being in a car in New York, and I could kind of make them feel relaxed. I know the road. That helps. So, Cypress Hills. This is Cypress Hills, Brooklyn. This is a part of Brooklyn that was always known. Obviously, Cypress Hills, the rap. It's Yeah, whoever just said that. I just saw someone say it was a dangerous road. I'm obviously not looking at the chat right now. I'll try to get rid of that. Not look at that. But yeah, this could be a very dangerous road. As you see, these curves here, these are doozies. Oh, Co-Train. I don't know if you guys have. I can't. I kind of get the gist of what you're writing there, but I don't know if you guys have the Citizen app. There's an app on the iPhone. It's called the Citizen app, and basically what the app does, it's AI, it's artificial intelligence, I think, but it monitors 911, like the 911 calls, the police scanners, and the 911 calls, and it basically reports on all the crimes that are occurring around you, and it's crazy when you actually see what's going on around you. Obviously, a lot of these same things were happening back in the day, but we didn't have an app telling us that they were happening. But it's funny because I'll send it to my buddy that lives up in Vermont. We just love discussing the differences and all the different ways that life is just different from here to there, and space, and how we live on top of each other here. And I'll get these alerts, and it's on a map, and it's like it shows my location, and then literally like 2 blocks away, it'll say 50 feet away, armed robbery, suspects fleeing west, and I'm right to the west, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, like it's just crazy to just see these. It's wild. It's wild. In these big cities, the amount of crime that happens, and you don't even realize it. Like one neighborhood could be this is a perfect example of what we're looking here. You could have one neighborhood to the right of this highway, one neighborhood to the left of this highway, and you could have 3 people shot right in this to the right here, but the people on the left neighborhood won't even know about it. It's wild. Wild. Like, you talk about people getting shot and this and that, and it's like, I just got an alert 2 people got shot in Brooklyn. I mean, I think I was getting citizen alerts as we were going through Eastern Parkway. I got a citizen alert about someone stabbed or something came up. I didn't say anything though. I mean, stuff just happens. Stuff just happens. It just happens. It's happening. Yeah, Co-Train, you're right about that. So I was, where I live over by Howard Beach is not too far from East New York. And East New York is home to the Pink Houses. I'm sure people have heard the Pink Houses. They're the projects there by East New York, Linden Boulevard, by the Hole. That was at the famous spot, the Hole, over by Ozone Park. Linden Boulevard, where they were dumping bodies over there. I read, there's an article in the New York Post from last week. That's the 7-5, the 75 police district, police precinct. That's East New York and Cypress Hills, which is this neighborhood that we just passed here on the right. That's Cypress Hills. East New York and Cypress Hills were known as being like the worst neighborhoods that you just can't even walk around in, right? That's what they were known as. And then times changed. And then when I was growing up, it was changing and changing. It got better, progressively better. It's gotten to the point where now, if I'm in Howard Beach and I'm with my daughter and I need to get to like Brooklyn, I'll cut through the Pink Houses. Whatever. It's not that bad. There's always the same guys hanging out on the corner. Maybe they recognize my car by now. I don't know. Whatever. It's just not seen as bad anymore, right? Over the past month, there's been a bunch of shootings there, all gang-related, all children, kids. But basically, there's an article in the New York Post written last week saying that it's a terrible sign for New York City that the gangs have taken control of the 75th precinct again. They've taken control of Cypress Hills, East New York. And in terms of like the city and the stability of the city, it's not a good sign because, and I can attest to it, that's been an area that's been fine. It's been fine to drive through, stop, get something to eat. Like, it's been okay. It hasn't been fine. But then again, now recently, and it's kids between the ages of 15 and 25, and they're all either wearing red or blue. So we'll see. And that the article basically was saying, like, it's going to be interesting to see what does this lead to. They were saying that they used to have a slogan in that police precinct that said, "You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you a homicide." That's off of that old 1010 Wins news report. In the movie Goodfellas, when Hill is in the shower and he hears the news report about the Lufthansa heist, and he gives it to me! He's listening to 1010 Wins News, 1010 AM. And that's the local radio station still on in New York City today. And their motto was always, give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world. Because the news segment, each segment was 22 minutes, plus commercials. And their thing was, give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world. And that precinct there, their slogan was, give us 22 minutes, we'll give you a homicide. Anyway, that's my spiel. And that, to Co-Train's point, it's hard to it's interesting to watch things on like national news And then, it's funny to watch national news report on crime and violence in New York City because, in a sense, they're right, but they're not right in the generalization of the violence. So it's interesting, but we'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens. Yeah, and I messed that up. I don't know if anyone was with us a couple of streams ago. I messed that up. We were passing the Marcy Projects, and I'm like, oh, Marcy Projects. Didn't Christopher Wallace live here? That guy Biggie, Christopher Wallace? I screwed that one up, but you're right about that. Marcy Projects up by, they're almost up by, like southern Williamsburg up there, right? Southwest Williamsburg almost. Right before you get into Williamsburg. But you're right about that. Hello, A. I think that's what Tony's alluding to, is that you've been around. Hello, welcome. I think I've seen you around. Yeah, Tony the Night Owl. The last thing I'll say on this, because I'll end it soon, is I think in general, New York City is going through one of its cycles where, it's reverting back to where it might have been 20, 25 years ago in certain aspects, right? In certain crimes, certain neighborhoods are reverting back. I think there's also, when you think about the 80s and 90s, what do you think of? We're talking about the mob genre here, right? There was just a story about something that happened in a funeral home. You got kids disappearing from Howard Beach. You know, what makes you think that everyone isn't like, you know what? There's kids these days now, just like 25 years ago, they're willing to do whatever and they can get away with it. You know what? Let's use them. Let's use these kids a little bit now. We can get away with a little bit right now. It's cyclical. I mean, you're going to tell me that it would be difficult for a group of guys, a group, to go into the projects right now and find a couple of kids, give them a couple $100 to do some work for them? They're doing it every day. That work's being done every day. I could understand 10, 15 years ago, guys being like, oh, listen, do not end up in the news. Nothing. Shelve a guy. Shelve him. Person becomes dead to the world in that sense, and that's that. But then again, now, if you have 10, 15 years of that, you don't think guys know that? And they're like, oh, you know what? I might be able to skim over here. What's the worst they can do? Just shelve me? All right, I'm shelved. Whatever. Who gives a shit? Maybe now you have folks that are like, enough's enough. The city is out of control in terms of that, in terms of, you can get away with stuff. Like, you just get away with stuff. You can get kids to do things for you. A lot of these guys have been floating on thin ice for a while, thinking, oh, whatever, they ain't going to do nothing to me. I don't know. Again, we were in Gravesend a couple of streams ago. We were going down Avenue U. Were the streets empty? Or were the people out on the streets? Were the people hanging out front? I told you guys, if you couldn't see it, no, there's folks hanging out. They're hanging out right there, hanging out. How long have we been on? Hour and 40 minutes. This is the beginning of that traffic that I was expecting us to hit. We can get off and take some streets. You know what? That's what we're going to do. And then I can end it there. But I think I think the city is going through one of its cycles. Like they say, history repeats itself. Edwin, I'm gonna have to try to figure out, and I promise you, Edwin, we will be going to the Bronx soon. Um, I can take you right where the supposed, alleged, former hangout of the alleged Lucchese family was. The one that was in the court documents and everything. That area of the Bronx I know very well, actually. I know right where that is. Right, Covington Avenue, right there. But I have to go to the Bronx. I need to take the folks to the Bronx. And I personally, I've never been to Arthur Avenue, the Little Italy of the Bronx. I've never been down Arthur Avenue. Born and raised in New York City, every borough, this, and that. I have never been on Arthur Avenue. So, Edwin, hopefully you're able to make it when I finally get up to the Bronx. We'll do a little driving around. It'll probably be on a day like today where I'm leaving Jersey. If I didn't have these stops on Long Island, maybe I would have done it today. Like maybe a day where I'm leaving Jersey, I'll go over the George Washington Bridge and just, get off over there and do some exploring. Come down through Arthur Avenue. Um, but we'll discover it together ourselves. I swear, if this guy behind me gets up my, you know what? I, I like, I don't know. He's so funny. Like when you're in this right lane and people are coming on the highway, you'll see, like let's say it was me, like they'll get right up on you, like, oh no, I don't want to let anyone in. Seriously, guy? Me too, and I hear the best fresh mozzarella's over there too. I've personally never. It's crazy. I've never been down Arthur Avenue in the Bronx because just I just I'm a Brooklyn kid. I'm Brooklyn. I've been to Mulberry down in Mulberry in Little Italy. I remember the days of going with my grandfather and going into those, going into the warehouses and passing through one door, through another door, up a flight of stairs, down a flight of stairs, through a hallway, up a flight of stairs, crawl through a little cave, and boom, you end up in this room filled with sneakers and hoodies and everything. Those were the good old days. I remember getting velour suits from there, like old school friggin' velour, Lacoste, and all that stuff. I don't remember it, but my mother claims that when I was very young, we were there one time while it got raided. I don't remember that because I'll always, I'll reference that like, oh man, those are the good old days. Right? Grandpa, whenever Grandpa was like, oh, you want to come downtown with me? Like, yeah, because you didn't know what was going to be in that room. You didn't know once maneuvered your way through that building and ended up in that room. You had no clue what was going to be in that room. Could have been CDs, could have been, sports books, sports memorabilia, baseball glove, anything. But she claims that we were there one time when it got raided. I don't even remember that. I must have been really young for that. Yeah, that guy, the Gravesend series. My dad loosely knows that guy, DeMeo, loosely, just through Our Lady of Grace. My dad is very, very involved with the church in Gravesend. Actually, the scene, that shooting scene at the end of the last series in that church, that was all filmed in Our Lady of Grace. Will DeMeo has ties to that church. I think that's his parish. And my father is heavily, heavily, heavily involved with the athletics, the youth athletics side of the parish. So my dad, uh, had met him a few times. And I enjoyed the series too. It had that it had a little bit of that like low budget feel to it, but it is. I mean, it is. Actually, one of the women that's in it lives around the block from my parents. She wasn't in the series one. She's in series two. She lives around, and it's funny. She walks a dog around the block, whatever. For my parents and there. My dad is like the block mayor. Like he's always sitting out with the neighbor, always analyzing how, making sure they're not, parking incorrectly, and they're the block mayors out there. The thing is, there's a school on the corner. So you have these teachers, they come from Long Island, they come from the suburbs, they don't know how to park in Brooklyn. They're blocking spots, they're taking up two spots, they're blocking driveways, they're too far out, people can't get down the block. It's a disaster. They cause a disaster from not parking properly. So, of course, you have my dad and the other guy out there, holding court. So she's always passing by, and my dad's always, oh yeah, she's in Gravesend, she's in Gravesend. How funny would it be if just shits and giggles one day I come on here and I have Will DeMayo on here? How funny would that be? How funny would that be? All right, so I have no clue where the hell we are. Just kidding. I think we're in Douglaston. I think. We were in Queens. I got off the highway because I didn't want to sit in that traffic with you guys anymore. Hour and 47 minutes. Yeah, we'll keep it rolling for another few minutes. I'll show you these side blocks here. But this is, I don't even know what school. Is this Queensboro? Queens College? Where are we? Mall discombobulated. Hillside Avenue. Okay, I'm getting my bearings here. Hillside Avenue, 229th Street. We are going to make this left on Hillside. And I know where I'm. Yeah, so I guess this is more. No, this ain't Douglaston. What the hell am I talking about? Let me see. Let me see if I can give you an accurate description of the neighborhood that I'm in right now. Is it Queens Village? No, Queens Village is just to the south of us. Is it Oakland Gardens? No, Oakland Gardens is over there. Is it Belrose Manor? I don't know. See, this is like one of those type of spots where I get, officially, I appreciate that, Carlos. I really, really, really do. I plan on doing this as long as I possibly can. I really do. I enjoy it. I enjoy you guys in the chat. It's great. It really, really, really is. Is it Hollis? But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna need some help here. We're kind of near Martin Van Buren High School. Okay, so that's Martin Van Buren. See, I got all confused here. I got all confused. This is Martin Van Buren. I thought we were near Queensboro. We are not by Queensboro. See, I don't know if is this Hollis? I don't know. See, there's the high school. That's Martin Van Buren. But the backside of that field, it looked like Queensboro. Marty Van Buren. Any Seinfeld fans are holding up the sign. What was he, the 7th president? 7, 8, 12? Thank you, Tony the Night Owl and Carlos. Thank you so much. What I'll do is I'll take you right into the Nassau County border, and then I'll shut it down there. Deal? I know I keep saying I'm going to end it, but if you guys are still sticking around, if you haven't hopped out of the car yet, then I'm going to keep you with me then. That's basically how it's going to work. I mean, you could jump out the car whenever you want. And you can give me an FU on the way out. Hit the dislike on the way out. Please don't. I'm only joking. Although I think in terms of the algorithm, any sort of engagement is better than no engagement, right? Look at this Denny's here. What a random spot for this Denny's, right? Hillside Avenue over here. Denny's. Got a nice coach train. Got a bunch of old school baseball. This is an old school baseball little league facility here on the right. It's called Prella. It's the home to HBQVC. It's a parish around here, a very very well known Queens parish, and they've had youth baseball teams, baseball and softball forever. So if you're from the New York area and you're into youth sports, you've definitely come to these fields before. Prayer Fields, HBQVC Church. And you got the YMCA here also. Oh, I will jam up. Folks going into the YMCA. Hey, Assassinino, have a good one, bud. I'll be getting off here soon. But you have a great one. Carlos, I see your schedule for tonight. I watch and I listen, Carlos, even if I'm not in the chat. It kind of just, Carlos, if you're still here, it really makes my life easier if I just listen. You know what I mean? It just does. It makes my life on Earth an easier existence if I just listen to you guys and just listen. So if you don't see me in the chat, I listen to you folks. You, Big Lou, Nelson, you guys are great. Look at this move. This guy's pulling a move here. All right, guy, come on. Keep it moving so I can get over here. All righty. Thank you. Now you're going to cut me off. You son of a... Speed cameras galore over here. Again, speed cameras are 24/7 for anyone from the New York City area and thought you were slick because they've only been active during the week, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Well, now they're 24/7. Whenever I'm on Hillside, oh yeah, I just feel like it's like I was trying to look at it on Google Maps like when we were there just to see exactly what neighborhood it is. It's one of those spots where it's like in between all those little neighborhoods. Like it's even when you're in Brooklyn, I mention it all the time, like Bath Beach, Dyker Heights, and Bensonhurst, and Gravesend. Those areas, like the official boundaries, they're so close where we just confuse them all the time. We could be in Gravesend and be like, oh yeah, this is Bensonhurst, or it's just there's or 86th Street splits Bath Beach and Bensonhurst. So depending on what side of 86th Street you're on, you're in a different neighborhood. And this is Little Neck Parkway, getting closer to the Nassau border. We're going east from Queens. We're about to exit Queens and fall out into Nassau County. We're at 259th Street. So yeah, we'll be there in about 5 minutes. Let me see. So we have about 4 more lights in New York City, and then we cross over into Nassau County. I'll show you guys that border change. Let me take this off here so you guys can see the road. Yeah, Tony the Night Owl. It's a lot of the times I'm listening and like I see all you folks in there and I want to just start saying hi, and it's just I listen. So this is going to be out crossing to Nassau County. This traffic light's the last light. Oh, I'm sorry. This one and then the next one. These are the last lights in Queens. So you'll see this guy is not supposed to be making that right because you can't make a right on red in New York City. But now this here is now Nassau County. Welcome to Long Island. That white sign here underneath the 25 that says Nassau County. Um, this is now Long Island, the town of New Hyde Park. This is your first town in central Nassau, and it goes all the way to Mineola. To the south, which is where I'm going to be start veering towards, is where you're going to hit Garden City Park and Garden City. Yeah, I don't know if this was in. Hopefully, we're back. Had a little buffer issue there. Hopefully, Carlos heard that. I meant to tell him that when he was in here before, but I want him to know that I listened to them. Gianni, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Thanks for joining, man. Cousin Paulie, see you, bud. Oh, the Mets are about to play. The Mets have a day game over in Washington. Is that a doubleheader? DeGrom came back last night. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys seen. Um, yeah. They. By the way, yeah. Friggin' the streets in Queens are ridiculous. You have 20th Avenue, 20th Street, 20th Place. There's if you go up Woodhaven Boulevard, there's a 59th Street, 59th Place, 59th Avenue. It's ridiculous. But I don't know if you guys saw the Met game last night. Any sports fans? I just wanted to mention DeGrom came back. He faced the Washington Nationals. I don't know if anyone was watching that, any locals or whatever. But to me, it seemed like DeGrom was it looked like he was like throwing very hard. I know that's been like a negative on him. It's been like people think that's probably why there's too much wear and tear on his arm because he's coming in as a starter, just throwing 100 miles per hour right off the bat. But I don't know if anyone else saw it, but just like didn't it almost look before the injury? It looked like it was more of just a loose. Maddie, thank you, Maddie. I appreciate it. And you're good at like hopping in and saying, "Hey guys, I'm listening." I know that you're always listening. Like I should do a better job at that. That's kind of like what I'm trying to tell Carlos is that even though when I'm not there, I'm there. But Maddie, thank you, Maddie, because you make it known that like you got me in the earbud or whatever. But thank you. Um, Road, Aldo, right? Place, street, road, avenue. It's ridiculous. Um, what was I saying? DeGrom. Before their injury, it seemed like it was more of what we call like loose gas, loose heat. Like he wasn't even trying to throw hard. And just as he got older and as he got looser, it just came out harder and harder. And all of a sudden, he's throwing 100 miles per hour. Watching him last night, it looked like he was trying to throw 100 miles per hour. That's just my observation. But I don't know if we had any baseball fans in here, if anyone was watching that. It just seems unsustainable that a starting pitcher could come in and throw that hard for that long. Assassinino. Who? What did I miss? Oh, man. Well, about to hit the 2 hour mark. In a couple of minutes, I'll pull over. I'll read the chat. But we still have this guy's just gonna leave his door open. No big deal, bro. Just leave the door open. Not a problem. No big deal. Just leave the door wide open. You know, let the people on the road figure it out, right? The people on the friggin' road figure it out. Alrighty, let's It's hanging right here. Oh, we missed this light. The hand car wash here. Wow, look at that gas price. $4.05. See that? And when I'm telling people it's a market, supply and demand, it's a market, supply and demand, anything that's a free market that based off of supply and demand, if it gets too expensive, will not sell. Because someone's going to come around and say, I'll give it to you for a little cheaper. And even if that price is too high, someone's going to come and be like, well, I'll give it to you for this much. Smith and 9th Street. That was our stop, the F train. Smith and 9th Street, right? Brooklyn. There's a 9th Street under the subway near the Gowanus and a West 9th Street over in Gravesend. Right, because those streets, because the grids shift. So that grid that has West 9th Street, those are the east and the west numbers. Those east numbers go like all the way over into like Canarsie, like in Marine Park, that's like East 38th Street, East 37th Street, East 36th Street. Then when, by Bedford Avenue over there, and then over by Gravesend, then you get into the west numbers, West 1st, West 2nd, West 3rd. You're right. Those are, and then when you go down to Bath Beach, you have the Bay numbers, Bay 2nd, Bay 8th, Bay 9th, those streets. So, but at least Brooklyn will like put a west in front of it, or an east, or a bay. You know what I mean? Queens, it's the same number, but it's either a street, a place, an avenue. Like you can come to the intersection of 20th, I think so, up in Astoria. I think there's an intersection of 20th Street and 20th Avenue. Intersection of 20th and 20th. Like, what is that all about? Yeah, Smith Street, Smith and 9th Street. Exactly. West 9th. Yeah, and then West is... There's also a West 9th over there, too. Yeah, Queens is the worst with like addresses and the addresses themselves. It's so like the address, a typical Queens address. I was just about to like dox myself and yeah. But let me give you a typical Queens address. 192 75 91st Street, Howard Beach, 11414. I'm like, what? Yeah, they're the friggin' dashes. Like, come on, man. Like, you gotta be kidding me. There's 5 friggin' numbers to the address in Queens. And I get it. That's kind of giving you, like, if you know how to read the addresses, then if you read those first 3 numbers, then you know what the cross block is. That's what it's doing you. The first 3 numbers are giving you the cross block. 158-22 is cross block 158 Avenue. Oh man, Queens is really the worst with that stuff though. But guys, I am almost to my destination. I'm actually extremely close. I'm gonna pull it over. Let me pull it over right here in front of the Greek Palace. We pull it over right here. That way I could say goodbye to you folks, all right? It's been a pleasure. It's always been awesome. I think we had a few new folks in here today. The regulars, I can't thank you guys enough. I might be going away this weekend. So I don't know about the rest of this week. I don't know about tomorrow and Friday. If I'm in town, I will definitely go live. If I'm not, then I will see you again early next week. I want to get back in rotation. That's really why I wanted to get on today. Because as much as people like make fun of like the algorithm and all this and views and all that crap, if you look at my page and you look at the views, I'm really getting to learn how this algorithm works, because if you look like 2 or 3 videos back, that video hit 3.1 thousand views. That's all the algorithm. And I've noticed the algorithm works for me either during the video or like 3 to 4 days after the video. A lot of the times during the video, like I had one video a while ago that ended with like 1.8K views. That video, during the video, it was getting pumped out through the algorithm, through suggested videos. So they either get pumped out through suggested videos or through browse features, meaning just like when you open up YouTube, it just happens to be there. I've noticed with my past couple of videos, my last one did not hit a crazy algorithm. That one was only like around, it's still at like around 860 views, I think. I'm usually like, so it's giving it, during my video, YouTube is sending it out to an algorithm, right? So I'm ending with a good amount of views. People are coming in, I'm getting subscriptions, but then afterwards too, they rack up a little bit, rack up a little bit, rack up a little bit. Now this last video did not hit an algorithm because it's still hanging out right at that 800. I could see it in the studio, but the two before that, one hit 3K, one hit 2K, and that happened like 3-4 days after. And I could see it because when I checked the studio, all of a sudden the chart just starts going up, and it's all coming from suggested videos that YouTube is suggesting out. And it tells me what videos are suggesting it out. The videos that are now suggesting my stuff out are from different genres. They're like Action Kid, Mooney Dashcam. His videos are suggesting my videos out. That's what I've been looking for this whole time. And I've done nothing besides just do what I do, but have just seen the algorithm work in front of me. It's crazy. It's wild. The point of me saying this is that you guys being here consistently, the Tony the Night Owl, the Matty Marinara, the Carlos, the Cuz, all you regulars that I know from the mob genre, whatever you want to call it, all you folks that come in regularly, Mobland, all you folks, you are the ones that are telling you at YouTube, hey, this guy's pretty decent, why don't you suggest this video out? And then the algorithm goes and does it, and then a few days later, I get 1,000 people coming watching. But it's because of you guys. If you guys didn't come in here, if you didn't hit the like, if you didn't chat, YouTube would be like, all right, this guy is decent, or whatever. But it's because from day one, I've had regulars from day one that have come in, had said hello, and little things like that. Little things like the chat moving, people liking it, people sharing it. That, all that does is tell YouTube, like, hey, yeah, there's interest here. Yeah, there's interest. Yeah, there's interest. So then they start suggesting it out to people that watch Moody Dashcam, and people that watch Dutch Maz, and people that watch Action Kid. And if they start subscribing, and they start coming in, and they start watching, then YouTube algorithm says, oh, well, that worked. Why don't we keep doing that? So thank you guys. I'm just doing my thing. I'm setting up a dash cam. I'm hitting live. I'm driving. I'm talking to you guys. That's what I'm doing. That's the simple part. The hardest part is keeping hydrated. Making sure I have enough water, like I'm going to pound some right now, is the hard part. Otherwise, this is what I do. I'm just doing me. You're right, Coach Rain. My chat does move fast for the amount of viewers, and that's what I'm saying. And I thank you guys, because I've had, people that I've made friends with, like yourself, in the chats that I know are, chat happy people. And why I also say apologize for not going into these chats and saying hello to you folks, because this is where I made friends with you folks in these chats, right? And you're right, Coach Rain, my chat does move a lot. I see that. I see that in the analytics, how many chat messages we have. And for the amount of subs and the amount of views I have a ton of chat messages, because you guys are active. You're a bunch of chatterboxes, but that just helps me. The fact that you come in here and like to talk, YouTube sees that. YouTube says, hey, this is a place people can come and talk midday. Here, try this place. Try this guy. You can talk here. That's all I got to say for now. You guys are great. Did you change your name? Because you've been around, right? You've definitely been around. We know each other. Coach Train, thank you, buddy. And Aldo, thank you, my man. Tony the Night Owl, Joe Delamora, Brian, welcome. I think you're new, right? I think you're new. Tony, always a pleasure, Tony, really. And everyone else, really. Matty Marinaro, always listening. Gianni came in there late. Assassinino, always a pleasure. This guy looking at. Yeah, you better cross somewhere else, buddy. That's a bad spot to cross. It was just you guys here at the end. Cousin Paulie was in here before. Carlos, Edwin, everyone. Please, don't think I don't appreciate your presence, everyone, okay? I will see everyone soon, and have a great day, all right? Peace.